Hi everyone, I'm excited to be part of IU Cinema's Jorgensen guest filmmaker program. Lingua Franca is an interesting feature for me. It is my third, but it feels like my first in certain ways because it is my first to be set in and produced in the US, and it is also my first after my gender transition. And I set out to do three things with Lingua Franca. First, I wanted to do a different kind of New York film. You know, when you think of a New York film, you tend to think of movies by Spike Lee or the Safdie brothers or even Williamsburg, the white hipsters in Lena Dunham's HBO Showgirls. But I wanted to put my own unique stamp on the New York film. And so I decided to set it in Brighton Beach, which is very Russian Jewish and a defiantly traditional and ethnic neighborhood in the south of Brooklyn. And I felt like I was showcasing a sort of hidden or secret New York. When I live in Crown Heights, which is about half an hour away from Brighton Beach. So whenever I take the subway down to Brighton Beach, I feel like I'm whisked off to a totally different world and even a different time period. I feel like I'm going back to the 1950s and the 1960s. The second thing that I wanted to do was to make a different kind of social issue drama. When you think of films that touch on topical issues such as immigration and the trans experience in the US, these films tend to be somewhat preachy or didactic or loud or performatively angry or indignant. And Lingua Franca is quite the opposite of these things. It's a quiet, patient, very subtle and understated film. And this is also an opportunity for me to showcase my unique aesthetic and sensibility as a filmmaker that is a cross between, that has elements of European art house austerity, like in Ingmar Bergman, but it also has the sensuality and languorousness of films by Wong Kar-wai, which have been a major influence on my work. And also the style of the American classical or classicist filmmaker James Gray, who set a few of his early works in Brighton Beach, including Two Lovers, starring Gwyneth Paltrow and Joaquin Phoenix. And the third and last thing that I wanted to do was to make a different kind of Filipino art house film. For the last 15 years, when you think of an art house Filipino film, the one style that distinguishes it is a sort of gritty, neo-realist docudrama that's handheld and usually set in the slums of Manila, where it's following characters who live in squalor. And although on paper Lingua Franca has the same, sounds like a social realist drama, on paper I wanted to set up certain expectations primarily to subvert them and to present a totally different film as a result. That being said, I hope you enjoy Lingua Franca. It's quite an aesthetically daring and adventurous and experimental film for me. And I hope that you also appreciate it in many different ways. I look forward to seeing you soon for the Jorgensen Guest Filmmaker Program. Thank you.